All right, welcome everyone. We're diving deep into crypto today. We've got the latest crypto deep dive market report. It's one from January 31st, 2025. Lots to cover, as always. You know, trends, top performers, and all the big stories moving the market.
Yeah, definitely a lot going on. Though this week it feels like the market's holding its breath a little. Global market cap is sitting at $3.59 trillion. Up a tiny bit. But trading volume down more than 22% from last week.
So things are a bit quieter. But still plenty interesting, right? This report really highlights stablecoins. They make up almost 90% of daily trading now.
Almost 90%, that's a huge shift. Makes you wonder, are people getting more cautious, looking for the stability of stablecoins in such a volatile market?
Maybe, yeah. Or is there something else going on entirely? Might be a lot of folks waiting on the sidelines. See what happens next before making any big moves. Speaking of moves, though, some coins are definitely not standing still. FLNDI, for example, that meme coin. It's up over 13%.
Yeah, defying the odds there. Shows you even in a quiet market, there's those pockets of, explosive growth, especially with meme coins. Oh, and Lido DAO, another big gainer, up 13.2%. That one's a platform where you can stake your Ethereum and earn rewards. Seems like that's getting more and more popular.
Yeah, interesting. So while Bitcoin dipped slightly, around $48,000 now, Ethereum is doing well, sitting at about $3,800.
Yeah.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? This report mentions some wallets, ones associated with Ross Ulbricht, Silk Road founder. Well, they lost millions.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Meme coin mispricing got them. They were holding meme coins, see?
Yeah.
And these automated bots, they exploited the price differences across different exchanges. Led to some significant losses.
Wow. So even seasoned players can get caught off guard. Really highlights the importance of, understanding what you're investing in and those risks involved. Okay, let's move on to some of the bigger headlines beyond just price fluctuations.
Right. Sounds good. I'd say some major themes are emerging here. Institutional adoption is still a hot topic. Like MicroStrategy, they're raising more capital to buy even more Bitcoin.
Wow, they're really going all in, huh? Makes you wonder, are they leading the charge or setting themselves up for a big fall? What do you think? Is this a sign of Bitcoin becoming more legitimate or just, speculative frenzy?
Tough question. No easy answer, really. I mean, institutional interest can be a good sign. Maybe an asset is becoming more established, but it can also lead to those bubbles we talked about. And then you've got Bitwise, their Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. It just cleared its first SEC hurdle.
Oh, right. I read about that. Could that be the tipping point for mainstream adoption? ETFs could make it much easier for everyday investors to get into crypto, maybe even lead to more stability, more liquidity in the market.
Yeah. Could be. Though even with those advancements, there's still so much regulatory uncertainty, especially in the U.S., like with Kraken, for example. They just restarted their staking services in the U.S. after dealing with, regulatory issues.
Right. I remember that story. It shows the constant back and forth, doesn't it? Innovation and regulation.
Definitely a tightrope walk.
It is. But speaking of making waves, stablecoins. Did you know their volume last year actually surpassed Visa and Mastercard combined?
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. Really shows they're becoming a force to be reckoned with, maybe even challenging those traditional payment systems. And this is just the beginning, I think, with Tether integrating with Bitcoin's Lightning Network.
Right. That means Bitcoin transactions using Tether, they'll be much faster and cheaper, making it more attractive for everyday use. Okay, now for something a bit more, fascinating and potentially problematic, meme coins. What do we make of those?
Meme coins are something else, that's for sure. Definitely grabbing a lot of attention, good and bad. You've got Elon Musk's father, trying to raise $200 million with his new Musket meme coin.
Oh, wow, I hadn't heard about that one. Sounds ambitious.
Yeah, it is. But then, on the other hand, there's that lawsuit against Pump.fun, claiming that all meme coins are unregistered securities.
Oh, right, that's a big one. So what happens if that lawsuit is successful? Could it really impact the whole meme coin market?
It's possible, yeah. If the court rules that way, it could lead to a lot more regulation, more oversight, make it much harder for new meme coins to launch. And even, crackdowns on the existing ones.
Yeah, that'd be a huge shakeup.
Yeah.
Especially for a part of the market known for being, let's say relaxed about regulations. It never ends, does it? Always something happening in crypto.
You got that right. Always keeps us on our toes. Speaking of which, Binance, the world's biggest crypto exchange, they're fighting a lawsuit too. Allegations of ties to Hamas.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that.
They're trying to distance themselves from it, of course. But this case, it could really change things for how exchanges operate globally even.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Really highlights the whole you know, decentralized, borderless nature of this ecosystem and how complex it can get. Oh, and we can't forget about Sam Bankman-Fried, right? SBF, as everyone calls him. Reports are saying his parents, they're trying to get a pardon from President Trump.
Seriously. Wow, that's that's a crazy turn of events, almost like something out of a movie. From crypto king to, well, potential convict,
Mm.
and now this.
Yeah, just goes to show how the crypto world collides with the real world in some pretty unexpected ways.
Definitely a story to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. With all this news swirling around, though, I'm curious, what's the biggest takeaway? For everyday people, people just starting to explore crypto, what should they be thinking about?
Good question. I think the most important thing to remember is that crypto, it's incredibly dynamic. What's true today might be completely different tomorrow. So you got to stay informed, do your research, don't just jump into something because it's trendy. Understand the risks, the potential rewards, and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Yes, solid advice. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, especially with all these headlines about meme coins and overnight millionaires and all that. But a level-headed approach, that's essential.
Couldn't agree more.
It's a lot to take in, isn't it? Feels like every day there's some new headline, some crazy development in the crypto world.
It's true, the pace of change is just mind-boggling. But that's part of what makes it so exciting too, right? It's like we're watching a new financial system being born.
Yeah, no kidding. So let's recap a bit. What have we learned today? Even though the market's a bit quieter now, trading volume down, there's still so much happening. Stablecoins, they're getting more and more popular. Maybe a sign that investors are getting a bit more cautious.
Could be, yeah. And we can't forget those big players like MicroStrategy. They're betting big on Bitcoin, that's for sure. And Bitwise's ETF getting closer to approval. Seems like institutional adoption is still on the rise.
Definitely. But then there's those risks too, like that meme coin mispricing, leading to those big losses for those wallets connected to Ross Ulbricht.
Yeah, that was a tough lesson.
It reminds us that crypto, for all its potential, it can be a risky game.
Absolutely. And the regulatory landscape is still, oh well, it's a work in progress, like with Kraken and that Binance lawsuit. Adds another layer of complexity for investors.
It does.
Yeah.
So where does that leave us? What should our listeners be thinking about as they try to make sense of it all?
That's the million-dollar question. I think the key takeaway is this. Crypto is here to stay, and it's only going to become more integrated into our lives. But we need to approach it with a balanced perspective.
Right.
Do your research, understand the risks, the potential rewards, and remember, this is a long game.
Well said. It's not just about getting rich quick or chasing the latest trend. It's about understanding the tech, the potential impact,
Yeah,
and finding your own place in this new world.
exactly. Here's something to think about. Final thought. We talked about institutional interest, potential regulatory shifts. But what about the bigger picture? How will all this shape the future of decentralized finance? That's the big question.